càng ra cho bé cha chỉ chân hung cho bé sai rồi bộ sai bé từ doctor Sandra nó đây là một thà cho bọn nhẹ luôn nành bọn nhẹ sẽ kể cho thế lười lười ya cho là sao cam nông tàu
North Carolina Hmong Women Association. Chị cũng như trong xia hẹn của sao châu đâu bé từ grandpa là từ giờ anh nhóc có là hai lứa na ở châu đâu có cho lứa ấy có kia bé nó đâu khó có biết sao lúc ninh mong thục bí là sao cái trâu nó trên kia bé hạt giờ dỗ lấy trà bé thì lấy dỗ và tới từ xài mong xí ninh mong là bắt châu bé lứa hai ninh mong sao ở châu đâu có cho So, cứ những mấy cái PowerPoint slides, lời chạy muốn thiệt từ owner love Papa John. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. That's you know, I'm gonna go to Halu Mika, chắc go to Halu Hong, video qua cứ sala hay bia. Yo go Halu Mika, get the job yo, tao bé cho tôi hoàn sai lừa Hong dòng đôi đâu khỏi tới rồi tao luôn Mika cha luôn Hong nào. Nhưng cần tia cụ đại Doctor of Pharmacy, chỉ tao nên là cụ tao cụ đại Business Administration degree thế nào. So cụ ta xin là cụ thầu ý là cụ ủa hữu pharmacist, hữu like your pharmacy, em muốn chua cho nên thiên nên cho lợi cho cái nó chua hậu hữu nó lên tới ta xin nó cái cụ ủa hữu cho Mika hữu pharmaceutical company nên cái cho company a ủa chua nó cái thầu tư tu tham màu là tu nurse là tu pharmacist mua luôn non do cho chua ai bé ua cái là hư tôi đã cụ khó team na cái cụ cho team members ua hư tôi cụ là ba thia cho tham màu đó hay bé họ chua nó yok here to patient là tu nên non like yok here to patient your shot là like injection là cho chua là ua thôi cho vì đó có hay những chim mua cho bao nhiêu on water John, so So I wanted to also share very young. I was really naive, and this was actually taken in one of my professor's office, and I was just completing my first year of undergrad at Carolina, and I did not know what I wanted to do. I had all the hopes and dreams, but I didn't know how to just get to that dream, right? And actually, I say I have dreams at the time, but I actually didn't even know what my dream was. I didn't know what I was gonna do. All I know was, so I just went to school every day, right? But again, I wanted to share this because this is where I started. I started not having the mentorship. I started not knowing what I wanted to do and what I wanted to become. But eventually, I found my way. I was able to graduate. I was able to get my Doctor of Pharmacy degree. And this is my twin sister. That's why she looks like me. Her name is Linda. And then that's me on this other side. And then I eventually got married. That's my husband. And my husband is incredible because he has been the strength behind me. He has encouraged me to pursue all of what I am doing today. That has been like a dream of his for forever. So we were finally able to have the financial means to be able to help him pursue his dream of a farm. But in his professional line of work, he actually is a molecular diagnostic provider at the UNC hospitals at Chapel Hill. And these are my 3 little kids. Oh my goodness. I know all the moms and dads who have kids love their kids. We love our kids too. So I have 3 kids. My oldest, which is in the middle, her name is Celeste. She's 7 years old. And then I have my son, he's my middle one. He's 4 years old, and then my littlest one over here, she's 2 years old. And oh my goodness, they are so rambunctious, they have so much energy, and it takes a lot. It really takes a team to be able to raise them and allow my husband and I to both pursue our dreams. So this is a picture of and then go chim nhỏ lên yeah she got Anna, big hong grow up my baby yeah. So my kids are no different. They take their toys, their cars, their Barbies, and they just love to play in the dirt. So remember that picture, that first picture of me in that really kind of cluttered, messy office? That was her office. So this is my professor, Dr. Rachel Willis. She has been a wonderful mentor to me. You guys can see that. But she has opened her heart to me, taught me so many things about how it is to just be a woman and how to accept being a Hmong woman, right? Because it is very hard to be a woman and then compound that with being a different ethnic group, right? And it's funny because I never knew what a resume was. And this lady, out of the goodness of her heart, she helped me write my first resume and helped me apply to my first job. And without her, I would have never graduated from my degrees. I would have never, I think, met my husband, who's very educated, and been able to create a life that has given me so many opportunities and allow me to be able to stand here today to share my story with you guys. So I owe a lot to her. And throughout this presentation, you guys will see how important I feel mentorship and leadership is into a person's development. So I love being a mother. I love being a wife, right? And these are two of, I feel, my greatest accomplishments so far. And I continually work at them. But these are just two of the many other accomplishments that I feel I have accomplished or achieved in my life, right? I feel that I have a great career, a great profession, because I was able to accomplish and go and complete my education. That's another thing that I feel like education is also very important to my story, and I feel it's also very important to others out there. So now that I have kind of shared with you all a little of my story, I really also want to focus on what is leadership and what does that mean. And so in my definition of leadership it's about vision, creating that dream, that vision, and sharing it with other people and having them share in that vision with you, right? And it takes courage, because sometimes you might not know all the answers. You might not know everything you need to be able to reach that vision, but then you do it anyways. And you know what happens when you do it anyways? Other people who are looking for that courage and who are looking to align with that vision, they extend their hand. They walk with you on that path, right? And it's also the ability to inspire and move people. Because if you go at it alone, it's gonna be a long and hard road. But if you find some other people who align with you, people who also inspire to see that vision, and you all walk together hand in hand, it's so much easier and it's so much more fun to go as a group, right? And I think that Hmong women, we possess all of those characteristics, all of those qualities, and we have a lot of them. And that's why I think, in my opinion, that we have a unique ability to hold leadership roles. Leadership, I believe, is part of that now, right? And Hmong women leaders, I feel like they're just incredible, capable beings. They're resilient, they're talented, they're skilled, right? And we have a lot of Hmong women. Basically, more than half of our population are women. And if we leave this group of talented, capable individuals untapped, the potential that they have is just gonna be a loss. So I think that if we're able to impact Hmong women, touch their hearts, inspire them to take leadership opportunities, then I think together we can all really move and uplift our Hmong community. And I think Hmong women are really positioned to leadership opportunities because of our diverse perspectives, our resilience and adaptability, and our heart, our empathy and compassion. So why is it important that we have Hmong women in leadership, right? It's because then we're working together to empower our community. We're working to inspire the younger generations. We have Hmong women role models that the younger generation can look up to. And they see you doing wonderful, inspiring things, and they aspire to become what you are. They aspire to do the things that you do to impact and move the community as well. There's also economic advancement, right? If you go to school and you get a degree and you're able to find a job, you're able to provide for your family. Once you're able to provide for your family and yourself, then you're able to also contribute and give back to the Hmong community so that we can build programs and initiatives that can uplift our younger generation. And then challenging the norms, right? It's important because traditionally and historically, Hmong women have not really been highlighted or really propelled into leadership roles. But I think it's changing, and we're starting it here today. And despite all of that potential that we just looked at, and despite all of why we have just discussed of how important it is, there's challenges, there's barriers that make it very hard, right? Again, the traditional roles and the culture, because growing up, my parents, they always says, oh, like everyone else. And you are like the last person that, you help. Because then you have to do all your chores before you do your homework, before you work on that project. And I think that's an opportunity that I think we really need to examine to see how we can really help our younger Hmong girls. There's also balancing responsibilities, right? As a Hmong woman, we have our own role as a mother, a wife, daughter-in-law, daughter, sister, and balancing that with pursuing higher education, because it still takes time, it still takes energy and brain power to sit down and learn the material, process it. It also is very challenging when you're working with Mika people, with Americans, right? And you're trying to move up the corporate ladder. You have to network, you have to play the office politics so that you can position yourself to be able to get those leadership roles within the organization. Lack of mentorship and role models. Like I shared with you, without that American professor, without her, I wouldn't be here today sharing with you my story. I would not know where I am. But I believe that if we have a Hmong woman who can then mentor a Hmong girl, I think that's even more powerful because the shared and lived experiences are more similar, and that is more powerful. And then the last one here is community resistance, right? It goes back to our traditions. It goes back to how our parents were taught, how our society was back in the day. Because when you think about it, that was a time of war. That was a time of basic survival. In the back of their mind, they just want the men to lead and for us to be able to make the journey safely into a land where our families, the children, the wives can really just survive. But now the times have changed. We don't have to think every day about where our next meal is coming. We don't have to think about how can I stay alive, right? Working for a few years or maybe in their profession where they can then share those experiences with the younger generation, right? And it all goes back to understanding our home culture, where we came from, and our family's history. And I think that is the bond between Hmong women when you're sharing your lived experiences with that younger woman as well. Right? And then also building strong networks among Hmong women to foster a supportive community where they can share resources, experiences, and opportunities. Because what I see is that the Hmong people can be siloed sometimes, right? We have one clan here, one clan here, one clan here. But if we're able to all work together as a whole community and have a large group of women really come together, like we will see how talented our Hmong women are. We have people in human resource, we have people who are physicians, we have people who work in the mental health field. We just have so many talented people, and we just need to come together and share all those things and create a network where we can all support one another. Education. I think that is a very powerful tool. I think we've all heard the phrase, education is the key to success, but I think education is a tool for basically a lot of things, and I think one of them is the opportunity for us to help break that tradition, those typical gender roles that has been with our home community for such a long time. And it will allow us to really step out, right? And pursue and get to know ourselves and be able to really find who we are and who we want to be. The other thing is the cultural shift. And so it's about, I think, celebrating as a Hmong community, as a whole group, the successes of Hmong women. The Hmong women who are actually taking that step to become leaders. Celebrate them. You know, like today, bringing someone like me who's starting to do the best that I can for our community and have me share my story. Really, I just feel like it's just a powerful way to inspire our younger generation so that they themselves can be able to take that step. And I think like if we work together and we're able to take a few steps, just imagine the step that our daughters, our younger girls, what larger leap they will be able to take in the future. And then we talk about Hmong women, we talk about our Hmong community, but as part of our Hmong community is our Hmong men. And we cannot do it alone. We need your help. We would need you to extend your hand. We need you to also work with us so that we can really make this happen, right? Because like my husband and I, we're raising a small family right now, and without him, I wouldn't be here today. Right? I wouldn't be able to create a nonprofit organization that allows me to really share my passion with the world. And then again, empowering Hmong women leadership. It's really harnessing the potential that we already have and allowing it to flourish and to thrive in our community. And it's not about just one person, one individual success. It's about the success, and it's about uplifting our whole home community. And it really just starts with one ripple. Again, Hmong women are empowered, right? Families thrive, communities grow stronger, and as a whole, our society becomes more resilient. And then that brings me to the organization that I helped co-found with a wonderful, wonderful community leader. Her name is Dohali. We had talked about this for so many years, and finally during the pandemic, we sat down and we were like, we have to make this happen, because if we keep waiting, it's never gonna happen. Because we waited over half our lives already and it still hadn't happened, right? So in 2021, we got our 501c3 status from the IRS to become a nonprofit organization. And because of the pandemic, we did a few virtual events and programming, but we didn't really do in-person stuff until the end of 2022, and then last year, and then we continue to propel our community. We continue to uplift other Hmong women to create programs and initiatives that we feel can positively impact and uplift our Hmong community here in North Carolina. And so our mission is to strengthen the voices of Hmong women and girls through education, advocacy, research, and leadership development in North Carolina. And we are the first Hmong woman organization ever in the state of North Carolina. So I am very proud of that, because I think it's about time that we give a voice and we give an opportunity for our Hmong women in our community to stand up and lead. So our vision is empowered Hmong women and girls leading happy, healthy, and fulfilled lives. Now our programs and initiatives, so everything we do really aligns on these 4 pillars. So the first one is our community needs assessment. The second is our mentoring and leadership programs. We also have a Hmong culture and literacy component, and then also the health and wellness initiatives that we have going on. So a little bit more about our community needs assessment. So who knows what a community needs assessment is? By a show of hands. Nobody. Okay, that's okay, because I am here to help share what it is. So it's really assessing what the need is in our community, right? What is it what type of resources does our community need? What kind of services do we need? And how do we find out about those things? We have to ask you guys. We have to go out there and literally have a conversation, have a survey, or have town halls, or have town meetings such as these to be able, or like seminars such as these, to be able to solicit information on what it is that you guys need, right? Because to my knowledge, it's never been done before here in the state of North Carolina for our Hmong community. If we don't know where we are at, how do we know where to go? Right? Opportunities to improve. And if we don't know what our strengths are, how can we come together and say, hey, this is what we're really good at, but this is something that we're not so good at. So if we can use this identified strength to be able to make it easier for us to work on this that we're not so good at, then that will take us longer and farther. And you know what? This will help us get grants and funding so that we will be able to also help our Hmong community. So what we've done is last year, we started talking about what the community needs assessment is, what we can do. We also started looking at preliminary demographic information, pulling from the American Survey and from the census results. And then we also dug into secondary databases like the PubMeds, right, the CINAHL, to kind of see like what type of literature research is available on the Hmong community. And what we found was like, oh, there's a lot of information about the Hmong who live in Minnesota, the Hmong who live in California, the Hmong who live in Wisconsin. North Carolina has the 4th largest Hmong population across the US, and there's like barely anything on us. So what's going on? What's happening? That's the question that we need to get answered. Where are we in the literature? Where are we in the world? Because we don't exist, right? We don't have a voice. We can't use the numbers to go ask for funding. We can't use the numbers to go ask for services. And I think that is something that we as a community really need to think about and work together to improve. So our target for this year is really to finalize a strategy. So lúc chủ gì hạt địa bây giờ ôi cái bây hili cho tôi bây chỉ niệm không thả lúc chủ gì hạt địa bây ôi cái bây hili ask your questions. So we're working and finalizing the strategy for this year and then starting our data collection. For next year, what we anticipate is completing our data collection, presenting the findings to stakeholders, people who actually are able to change or make changes, impact laws and regulations for our community, and share those recommendations with them. And so that we can then implement some strategies and those recommendations and how we can really improve and uplift our community. The next thing is our mentoring and leadership. So we have launched our mentoring program, and the first cohort will be starting this August. And basically what we're looking at is young women who are either in college or young women who have just entered into the professional working world and looking for opportunities to connect with someone, a young woman who is more seasoned, just to share their experiences, support one another, create a network, right? And I think through this program, I want young women who are in leadership positions to come and talk to our mentees and our mentors to give them tips and advice on how they can advance in their leadership roles. We also have a Paving Pathways webinars where we have interviewed professionals who are Hmong in our community and posted it in our YouTube, where they can go on YouTube and they can look it up. Like, we have like a human resource person, we have mental health workers, we have doctors, like all types of professions that they can just go and just hear the stories of how that individual is able to get to where they are. And then we have a youth development. This is in progress. And this is the target ages for this is the high schoolers, right? Really just exposing them to volunteer opportunities and leadership opportunities so that they'll apply to college now. They have something to talk about, right? And it's not all about grades, it's about extracurricular activities and how well you can contribute to the community in which you live. We also have our home culture and literacy. So YUA piazza hadia Beijing Hong Beha culture hiachi talendala YUA piazza Bei ya Dunhuan Sanlo hadia yo Halun Hong yo Gundang Hong yo Oliga. So we have launched our home summer language program called Goop Camp. And we launched that in partnership, in collaboration with two wonderful home community women leaders, Elizabeth Tao and Tia Yang, and we are very excited for that. It starts in June of this year, so if you haven't signed up, I can't remember if we've already closed the registration, but if you're still interested, feel free to go on our Facebook page and email us and let us know. And something that's brand new that we haven't really shared openly is we have a Bando project. So we had applied to the United Arts Council in Catawba County, and they have given us a grant to launch our program called Weaving Cultural and Intergenerational Threads, Preserving the Art of Hmong Bando. So what we hope to gain through this program is really to use Bando as a vehicle to connect our younger generation with our older generation, and at the same time share how wonderful our culture, our Bando is with the mainstream Catawba County. So look forward for more information on that. We're looking to launch that sometime this fall. And then the last but not least, our health and wellness. So this has been something that's really important to our organization because I think as Hmong women, our parents, other people, and we always leave ourselves to be the last person. But it's really important that we realize we have to take care of ourselves as well. And if we're not all there mentally, if our emotional state is not all there, then it's really hard for us to take care of all of those people that we love, right? And so health and wellness has been a large component of what we do. And we have put together, as I think one of our first virtual programming was a panel of mental health professionals who are all Hmong to come talk about what is mental health? How does that look like in our home community? And how do I identify somebody, like the signs and symptoms of mental health, right? And start the conversation, just starting the discussion of what it is. We currently also have 5 members of our organization who are adult mental health first aid certified. And so basically what that means is if you think that you're going through something and want to talk to somebody, reach out to us. We can help direct you to the appropriate resources and services that you may need. We're open. Just give us an email, message us on Facebook, go to our website, and just reach out to us, basically. And then our first in-person event, made possible by a lot of sponsors within our Hmong community as well, was to bring Dr. Kelvin Yang, who is a psychologist, a Hmong expert psychologist, who spoke about the intergenerational trauma, and then also a discussion on the different Hmong gender roles. So with that, I know that was a lot of information, but I was so happy to just be able to come here, share my story, share my journey, and share with you all, I think, a wonderful nonprofit organization that we've really just come together to create for our Hmong community, right? And my story today, and this quote, I think, represents it all. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. And liko hai nuna kutona kujokieta kulune kulu kongho ekupa tia or co-found, right? But kachema kuying sahadia kutonuna. I hope to inspire somebody, even if it's just one person reaching out. I think that's enough. Just to share what it is that we do so that we can all work together and create a ripple that just continues to grow. So thank you.
Okay, Dr. Sandra, I'd like to come you a gift from YUA United to you. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Sandra, that really inspired me too. Definitely want to be a mentor to anybody else who wants to learn anything about finance and business, right? So right now is 12 o'clock. So it's on lunch. Okay.